girls, it's Mrs. Frazee. I am missing you all so very much and hoping that you are staying safe and healthy at home. I know that we can't be together over the next couple of weeks, so Mrs. Frazee has put together a little science video and lesson that you can watch on the YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy it. I know that Miss Burt and Mrs. Gerard have also posted some science up on the channel as well. Miss Burt has talked about the scientific method and the stages that it goes through. We're going to concentrate on two, questioning and observing. And I know that Mrs. Gerard has also put together some life science lessons, and we're going to focus in on animals and habitats. So I would like you to take a look at the vocabulary as we move forward into this lesson and give you a little background. First of all, let's take a look at life science and what that actually means. It's a study of science that deals with living organisms. A habitat, which is another word, is a place or an environment where a plant or animal naturally or normally lives and grows. And here's the word from the scientific method, which is observe, that I want you to focus in on. To watch carefully, especially with attention to details or behavior. The topic I've chosen is animals' needs, and those would include food, water, air, shelter, and favorable temperatures. But our focus point is going to be shelter, something that covers or gives protection. A synonym for shelter would be home, which is where we live inside of a home, which is our shelter and protection. I'm going to be using a story with Mystery Science, which is a read aloud that I would like for you to also kind of read along with me. We will do an extension activity at the end as well. Before I begin, I'd like to tell you that the title of the story is Who Lives There? And it's a story about a little girl named Sophia. She's curious about the animals in the woods near where she lives. You'll read about Sophia and what she does to find out where the animals are. But you aren't just going to read. You'll follow Sophia on her walk in the woods, and you'll work with her to figure things out. Sometimes you'll get up and do something I ask. Other times you'll look for clues. Or we may just pause and stop and think. Before I begin, this is something that you can do as well. If you're able to, go for a walk around your neighborhood with an older sibling or your adult, or just take a look through your window. You might be able to see animals building their habitats or going into where their shelters are. We're going to now start to read the story. Please follow along with me. My name is Sophia. I live in a house. I sleep in a bed. Would that be her shelter? When I'm hungry, I get snacks from the kitchen. But then I wonder, like good scientists always do, they're always asking questions. Where do animals live? Where do animals sleep? Where do animals get their snacks? Let's see what Sophia is going to do to find out those answers to those questions. Let's go for a walk. Maybe we can find out where animals live. So she put her questions together. Now she's going to do her experiment and find out maybe the answers to her questions. Look up in that tree. Do you see that clump of twigs and leaves? It's not a bird's nest. It's too messy for a bird. Let's stop here for a minute. It's not a bird's nest. It's too messy for a bird. What other animals do you think would make a nest up in a tree? It's up so high. The animal that lives there must be good at climbing. Oh, is that a good detail or a clue? Let's go back and read it. The animal that lives there must be good at climbing. So now we know they make a nest and they need to be good at climbing. Do you see any clues about what lives there? Look around. Look carefully, not just at the nest, but at all the surroundings. Do you have an idea? Animals get hungry, just like you and me. I think the animal who lives there eats acorns. Look. So again, let's stop and think. What animal would be good at climbing, make a nest, and want acorns for their food? Let's stop for a minute. Think about those questions. Think about your answers. Which animal do you think lives up there? The squirrel? The deer? The turtle? Why do you think that? What are your answers? What clues did we see? What did you observe when you were looking at the pictures? I think I'll watch that clump of leaves for a while. Maybe I'll see the animal that lives up there. So now Sophia is going to do the same. She's going to stop and observe. We're going back to our word, which means to watch carefully, especially with attention to details or behavior. Look. Did you see it? Was that your answer? A squirrel just ran up the tree and hurried home. That clump of leaves is a squirrel nest. Can you find the squirrel? The squirrel is good at climbing. That was one of our clues. When the dogs chase it, it runs up the tree. Dogs can't climb trees. The squirrel is safe in its nest up high in the tree. One part of shelter is that it's something that covers or gives protection. Up there, it has lots of acorns to eat. In a habitat, it needs to have food, water, air, shelter, and favorable conditions. I think it would be fun to be a squirrel. Let's try it. Let's get up and move. Let's find a comfortable place to stand and stretch. Stand up and pretend to nibble on an acorn, just like a squirrel. You need to chew fast. Now, curl up like a squirrel in its nest, full of acorns and safe from dogs. It's getting late and it's time to go home. Maybe tomorrow I'll go for a walk in the woods again. I wonder what other animal homes I will find. So Sophia is all done with her walk. She's answered her questions. She's found out her answer. What Mrs. Frazee would like for you to do now as an extension is to continue on. You don't need to use my sentence starters. You can actually do this at home, where you can just take a sheet of paper, and I'm giving you the directions of draw an animal in its home. Here's where you will draw, and then you will write a sentence for me. My animal is a, and then tell me which animal you chose. It makes its home in, and I would like you to draw its home as well. I also have this translated in Spanish, and it says exactly the same. Draw an animal in its home. My animal is, it makes its home in, and complete the sentences for me. Boys and girls, that ends our lesson today on life science. I want to thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see your drawings and your sentences. And most Stay healthy and take good care. Miss you all.